Come on, baby. Wake up. Wake up. There it is. There's the audio. And good morning.
Good morning.
Got a special little something today. What's up? What's up?
Well, it's Thursday. I feel like...
Bless you.
Excuse
So it's
me.
been about 1 week since we've talked about how we just haven't had a lot of total wins since, I don't know,
Toter.
Toter wins.
Nope. Haven't had a lot.
Not since old creepy Uncle Joe took office.
And that's Uncle Joe.
Oh my God! And did you catch any of his press conference yesterday?
No, busy. Was planning on going back and listening to it today.
Yeah. So Joe's position on Russia invading the Ukraine, I shit you not, is, well, if it's not a major incursion, we'll see what happens.
Wait.
He's straight up.
Wait.
Almost 2 hours of press conference yesterday. He basically said, yeah, it's whatever. You know, I mean, if Putin wants to invade Ukraine, I guess it's okay.
What? You mean as long as it's not a major rape, it's okay?
Yeah.
As long as it's not a major robbery, it's okay?
It's just the tip.
Okay,
Yeah, but
so...
it was very Democrat. You know, as long as you didn't walk out of the Walmart with more than $900 worth of television, then it's not really robbery. It's not really shoplifting.
Right.
Like in California.
Right.
And New York.
So real quick, I'm going to say good morning to Jamie. Good morning to David. Good morning to Steve. And good morning to other Steve. Good morning to Dave Bowen. Good morning to Daniel Munoz over at Polytech. Hey, Danny. And apparently Steve and David are taking pot shots at each other in the chat. I like to see that. That's good stuff.
Your moves are weak. Maybe I need to double check Steve's banhammer status. I miss him being able to throw those for me to save me the trouble. So,
he can ban people on YouTube. You had to ban the Twitch bot yesterday.
It's the Twitch bot. That's right.
Yes. Yeah. Which started out funny, but it seemed real clear that was just going to escalate until the whole channel got taken down. So
yeah, as soon as he got to using words like NIKK, we had suspicions about the direction that was going to go.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, so that's what we're saying, Steve. Is maybe I need to administrator you for everything else. I don't know. Maybe I need to get you logged into Restream or something. Anyway, we have a Toter win, and this is a big deal. This is a huge deal, and what's funny is the way that it's being framed by the enemy. So, what happened was the Democrats tried to eliminate the filibuster for one reason and one reason only, so that they can force through a total federal overtake of elections. A total federalization of elections.
Which is a big hell no.
If you have any quandaries, any reservations against being entirely foursquare against the total federalization of anything, let alone elections, I would like to point you to healthcare, Amtrak, the post office. I could keep going, but it got stopped. It got beat. And that's a big deal. And we're going to throw him one of these.
When this guy so much sack, he protect, he attack. This why no more homoerotic rocket ranches. Got it? Got it. Oh, jeez. So much wang.
Maybe I should go back and adjust that video some and do one of the head replacements on the guy that's riding the missile down at the end, right? So that it's Alex Jones.
That would be good. And I think if for whatever reason Alex Jones were to ever see it, he would find it amusing.
He would laugh his ass off. Absolutely.
Man, just not gonna rabbit hole, but I'm gonna say it again because the older I get, the smarter Alex Jones seems.
That's terrifying.
It's terrifying. It's terrifying. I'm sorry, Alex. I'm sorry. You might have been right about everything. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I think a Clockwork Elf actually took my pizza order the other day. So
the filibuster, right?
Here's how they're framing it. Senate fails to change filibuster rule for passage of voting rights legislation. Right? And I had this up on Twitter earlier, and it's also being framed in other places. Like this one, voting rights bill blocked by Republican filibuster after 2 Democrats split way with party. Now, this article from Time magazine, says the headline on Twitter just says voting rights bill blocked by Republicans. It doesn't say blocked by Republican filibuster. Right, and even this language, voting rights bill blocked by Republican filibuster.
Filibuster?
This headline is false. Because what happened is not that there was a vote on the voting rights bill and the Republicans filibustered that vote. There was a vote on whether or not to have a filibuster ever again, and 2 Democrats sided with 50 Republicans and said, hold on a minute. Now, let's be fair. It could be the case that 2 Democrats said, now hold on. If we get rid of the filibuster, then that means a more Republican future session of the Senate could just roll over us with some of that crazy right-wing white supremacy legislation that says something stupid like you can't kill your babies anymore, and we'd be powerless to stop them. Right? That's part of where guys like Sinema and Manchin are coming from, right? Is don't let's not forget, this is a two-edged sword.
And that's the thing that you always have to understand, and it's one of the things that the libertarians always got, is any power you cede to the federal government
is gone.
Yeah, you better be sure you want them to have that power, because you'll never get it back, and they will exercise it. They will abuse it. They will find creative ways to use that power. So you take away the filibuster, and you better be damn sure, because look, y'all, the Senate is supposed to be a place where things slow down. I realize that it's a thing that the left talks about. They love it and be like, oh, well, gosh, things move so slow in the government. Boo!
And that's the point.
That's the point. That is absolutely the point.
I would love to see it move a hell of a lot slower.
In fact, look, that's why Congress flips every 2 years. You want things to happen quickly. They happen quickly in the House. They're not supposed to happen quickly in the Senate. That's the point. That originally the Senate was appointed, and they were to act in the state's interest. The House was directly elected, and they were to act in the people's interests. I'd prefer it at least stayed the shadow of its former self for as long as possible, that would be great.
Have you seen the clip of Colbert? It was just like a week ago of Colbert telling Warren that we need to abolish the Senate.
And even she
And
is
she
like,
says,
"Oh my God,
I'm listening."
And even she, like, you see it ever
Oh,
so
yeah, you
briefly,
see it on her
like,
face,
cross
like-
her face, like, wait a minute.
Wait, and then she says, "Okay, I'm listening."
I mean, like, Colbert, do you think you're smart? Were you just, like, doing epic level trolling and you...
And his
we all missed the
argument
point?
is that it's the least democratic thing that exists. That's what he says. It's the
Other than
least democratic thing ever, other than the judiciary. And it's like...
So, like, the government
hold on a minute.
Pyongyang is
Hold
more
on a minute.
democratic.
The least democratic thing you can think of is the original Greek construct of democracy.
I know, and Elizabeth Warren's like, you do understand I'm a senator,
Have
right?
you heard of words?
I'm a senator, right?
And she just kind of rolls with it. I mean, she makes the shocked face, she's like, okay. And then she just kind of, sure. What do I have to say not to lose the vote of every person that watches your show because they're
Dumber than a
retarded.
box of rocks.
There's
yes.
the F-bombs.
Okay.
My cork is liquid this morning.
Oh my. Okay.
No, it's a joke. I'm not talking about bowel regularity.
That's not at all where I thought you were. No. Okay. No. I'm stopping that right there.
No, liquid cork. It's a famous Irish supplement that helps solve incontinence.
See, look. See, but back in current year of 2022. Well, okay, so here's what the headline should read. Filibuster survives by 52 to 48 vote.
Hang on, Steve. Since wokeness has taken over the culture, most comedians are the same joke and keep getting paid.
No, since wokeness has taken over the culture, most comedians don't actually make jokes. That's the thing that's especially difficult. Like, who's the kid, like, Bo Burnham, like, he plays a lot of songs in his set. Like, he's talented, but
But the woker he gets, the less funny he gets.
Yeah, because
he used to
there's
do a
just-
hell of a show. His first couple of solo acts were fantastic.
But anyhow, look, okay, so screw you time and all these other things, because this is not the evil Republicans. Of course, they want to tell you that it's the evil Republicans. You know, the party of civil rights, the party that exists because of the original civil rights imbalance in this country, decided, hey, you know what?
You're talking about the Democrats, right?
No, I'm talking about the Republicans, the party that exists because of civil rights.
But the Democrats totally worked their asses off to get rid of slavery, right?
No, that was the Republicans.
No, that's right. The parties flipped after that.
Yeah.
Right. Because the Democrats totally worked their asses off for the Civil Rights Act in the 60s.
I'm still that whole party's flipped thing. I still don't entirely.
Oh, wait. No, that was that was voted almost 100% against by the Democrats, wasn't it? It was the next thing later, like, 65 Voting Rights Act when they switched and the Republicans were... Nope, it wasn't. You know what? It was the gay rights thing. It was when the first president in history ran who had never ran on traditional marriage.
See, I feel like there's a theme here. And
Well, he was a Republican, and that was less than 10 years ago.
that's right. And he was the evil Drumpfler,
Right.
The Orange Man.
The party, my obvious and beleaguered point is that the party switch is a fucking lie.
and
It's a lie that Democrats tell you to pretend like they haven't always been the racists. To pretend like the Democrat doesn't look out at black people and say, they're not smart enough to think for themselves. In fact,
and soft bigotry.
they can't even spell their own names correctly.
Stacey Abrams.
According to a lawsuit by Stacey Abrams, a Democrat who has been investigated for election fraud, repeatedly and is a major supporter of the current voter rights bill. And I just want to point out that these people.
Hey, real quick, somebody said that they're talking about comics, and somebody says that Lewis Black is overrated. Lewis Black's not overrated. He currently doesn't have a career. I'd say he's correctly rated.
Well played. Oh shit! I lost my next point. Like I physically misplaced the object.
Okay.
Damn it!
Like you put a thumbtack
There's
in the wrong
filibuster.
place?
Oh no, here it is. Okay, so the point that you almost got me derailed off of, the Democrats, and this is another part of how the school system is your enemy. Because they tried to teach me that. They tried to teach you that when we were in school, that somewhere in the nebulous past that never happened, except where it makes Republicans and white people look bad, there was a switch.
What Randomer Camp call it? The monster from forever ago? The yesterday monster from forever ago?
Something like that. The yesterday monster from forever ago. But there was, at some point in the nebulous past, there was this magical switch where suddenly all the Republicans became the Ku Klux Klan.
The
It never happened.
racist.
It never happened. And the reason that's pertinent to this morning's conversation is one of the points that the Democrat vocalists have been orating on vociferously for weeks and months now is that the filibuster itself somehow has its roots in Jim Crow and slavery, and it's racism. And I would like to point out that they filibustered a week ago. As soon as you hear one of these shitburgers say that the filibuster is racist, you remember to remind them, your party just filibustered to continue U.S. taxpayer subsidization to Russian oil pipelines.
Yeah, but as long as they put just the tip in the Ukraine, it's fine.
Just
the tip. And they're conducting, apparently, full-scale military exercises next month. That's not a show of force at all. Not even a little bit. But that's it. But whatever.
Yeah.
But whatever. The filibuster's racist. Unless the Democrats do it. And that's really the thing, isn't it? It's blah, 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 unless the Democrats do it. It's evil unless the Democrats do it. And it flips. Y'all, we've seen this happen in real time, okay? Remember a couple of years ago when, Kamala said she'd never get that evil Donald Trump jab?
Oh, yeah.
And it's the first prick she's ever had a problem with in her life, apparently, coming from a powerful man. But whatever. But remember...
You don't make it to VP spit roast without taking a few for the teams.
And then a few more, and then a few more.
For several teams. And it doesn't really matter which team they're playing for, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. But we've seen this happen in real time. The jab was evil. It was terrible. It was, I'm not going to take that vaccine, blah, blah, blah. Until they could suddenly magically take credit for it. Because, and it probably could have been released about 6 to 8 weeks before it actually was.
Democrats and Republicans, both politicians generally, are notorious for taking credit for something somebody else did, right?
You didn't build that.
Fair point. Oh, God. That's a great example. This though, them taking credit for the vaccine may be the sloppiest version of that we've ever witnessed. I mean, the "you didn't build that" speech was pretty sloppy, was pretty bad, but I mean, literally within 3 months of the Operation Warp Speed plan coming to fruition and generating a vaccine in record time against all odds and regulation, and only being able to do that because Donald Trump was willing to tear down regulation and make special exceptions so that these various pharmaceutical companies could make a fortune, or I guess so they could produce a vaccine. I guess that was really the point.
I just want to ask a question about the vaccine. I want to ask it very carefully. Does the current effectiveness rate of the vaccine make a suggestion that tearing down regulations for big pharma might actually not be a good idea?
That's a terrifying thought experiment to go down.
Just a thought, just a question.
Because you're tiptoeing mighty close to defending government regulation.
But look, if you're going to be intellectually honest, you have to call them like you see them. And I can't help but wonder if that's a question that needs to be asked.
Okay. Because we're running out of time, and I actually have to get right out the door this morning. Oh, my God.
Sean Stryker, if you make another comment about Jen Psaki naked, I'm going to swing the band hammer. Okay, that's just you. Okay, going forward.
On an unrelated note, didn't they do an updated Peanuts cartoon where Peppermint Patty was a lesbian?
It wouldn't
Completely
surprise
unrelated.
me. It wouldn't surprise me at all. It would not surprise me at all. So, but anyhow, getting back to the point and the framing and the everything.
Well, and it's time to wrap it up a bit.
It's only racist when Republicans do it, and it doesn't matter. And here's the
You mean
other
like
thing,
blackface?
right? No, I'm pretty sure blackface is racist. Whoever does it, it's not saying that it doesn't. Look, and I'm not saying it should be like.
I don't know. Trudeau seems to be holding up okay.
No, I'm pretty sure it was racist when he did it. He's just Justin Trudeau, and apparently he's willing to just lock Canada down forever. So,
Shit.
who'da thunk? But no, not only is it only racist when Republicans do it, I think you could even go so far as to say if a Republican does it for that period of time, it is actually, in fact, racist. Okay? And they've got the news media to help them. Maybe the DNC is influenced by the news media, or maybe the news media is influenced by the DNC, or maybe the news media just is the DNC.
Yeah, I think
that
that's
there's
correct.
so much overlap in those Venn diagrams, you could think of them as functionally one and the same. But when you have things like it should be big news, okay? Putin is like, I just massed troops near Ukraine. It's fine. You look other way. It's okay. Right? I mean, in Mother Russia, pipeline you, okay?
I'll line your pipe.
Exactly. That's fine. That should be huge news, okay? That should be, like, if Donald Trump was president, just as an example, or George Bush, okay? Remember back when W was, like, the most terrible thing ever, and instead he was just kind of feckless and ineffective and a shitburger? Yeah. Remember when that was the worst problem? That and the whole Patriot Act thing, but, I digress. If Donald Trump was president, it'd be like, oh my God, what is Trump going to do about Putin? And I'll tell you what Trump would do about Putin. He'd be like, boop. Hey, look, buddy, look. I really don't want to do this. You really don't want to do this, okay?
I've got more of these Moab things, right?
This is going to be a huge problem. Can we, look, I'll even go and let my own media make fun of me, okay? So you can save face, but you're going to stop with this troop buildup, right? Yes, Donald Trump, I will stop with the troop buildup. Okay. That would be it. That's what would happen. And it would rightly so be this huge story. But instead, a sanction, his mother wrote, that's funny. That is funny. But instead, a sanction, a place, in fact, that the Senate is supposed to have some authority, fails, and it's barely even a blip. if it didn't get reported on by Fox News and alternative sources, you probably wouldn't even know about this whole, like, they filibustered the Democrats were okay with giving Russia more power. They're okay with that.
In fact, they filibustered to guarantee it.
But
They racismed to give money to Russia.
that's right. They did a racism. They did a racism to give money to Russia.
Okay, and let me back that up a little bit. Okay, so to be clear, the Democrat use of the filibuster to the effect of funding Russia was not that they wanted to fund Russia and filibustered something that would prevent them from doing that. Okay, you need to hang on. You need to understand correctly what this is.
Morning, Alex.
They have been, we, the United States, have been funding Russia to build an oil pipeline after having shut down our own and wrecked our economy. Right? They have been offering aid, comfort, and enablement to the enemies of the United States of America. And what they filibustered for was to prevent a law from preventing them to continue that treasonous activity.
But it's only racist.
But it's only racist for Republicans.
They did a racism, but they're Democrats, so it's not actually racist. Just like their whole history, it's not actually racist.
Do a racism.
I know.
Whiskey Tango.
Oh, that was.
I took my children's iPads away yesterday, and one of them is making noises.
Apparently, it's 8:00 according to the iPad. But nonetheless, the headline should read, "Filibuster survives by a 52-48 vote." And if you're going to blame somebody, yeah, okay, fine. You can blame the 50 Republicans. But the whole thing, like, I love how that one headline was like, "The evil Republicans and 2 tiny little Democrats."
Stryker says comparing Floyd to King, not racist at all. No, it's not. I mean, they're both black. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, and apparently they both enjoyed their vices.
And they were identical. No difference between the two, obviously. I mean, look at the statues. You know what? I'd like to get a count. I wonder if Floyd has more statues than King yet.
Oh, man.
Okay, so I'm going to leave you on this. Epic rap battles of history. Bunch of lefties, but they're funny. Have you seen MLK versus Gandhi?
Yeah, of course.
If you guys haven't seen it, go look it up on YouTube. MLK versus Gandhi, epic rap battles of history.
They've probably seen it too.
And
Every single one of their videos has like 80 million views.
The guy that plays MLK says, "I got so much street cred, they write my name on the signs. I'd ring you for tech support, but I got a Nobel Prize." And it's the puns that really make me chuckle. So, y'all be safe out there. I got to get down the road. Love you. We'll see you tomorrow, which is my wrist, Firearms Friday. Good?
Yeah, no, push the button. What are you doing?